As we progress with these verses, there's an ever deepening series of profound realizations. And the last 6 or 7 verses have been concerned with renewing our understanding of materialism, and how in this context, in the context of enlightenment practice, materialism is about allowing our understandings of the world, of our body, and of our own psychology to determine and reinforce the habit energy of our moods. And the last 2 verses pointed out the result of this. It's equivalent to rebirth in the 6 realms. Could be the realm of the gods. These are those whose every desire is satisfied. They're not concerned about others. They're not concerned about anything else that might be going on. Satisfaction of their desires is the most wonderful condition to be in. One which most of us would aspire to be in. Especially the beings in the other realm, although sometimes they're described as being in the same realm. The asuras, those beings known as the asuras or titans or demons, they want to have all their desires fulfilled, and the way they do this is by going along with all their passions, with all their moods. They have this tremendous vital energy which is powered by their ego, their egoistic assumptions, largely about themselves in relation to others. So the titans want what the gods have got, but they go about it by force. They try and maneuver events to suit them. The gods have their desires fulfilled effortlessly, whereas the titans seek to fulfill their desires through control. So this is how we are, including many people who are caught up in so-called spirituality. They're actually just looking for control. They're looking for power. These are the titans. And they occasionally have some success in this. They might make lots of money. They might become very powerful. And they might actually be quite happy as a result. But it's an imperfect happiness, and they could just as well be very unhappy. In which case they're a bit like the hungry ghosts, one of the other realms. The hungry ghosts, though, tend to be rather fixated on the object of their desires. It's like a fetish. They keep looking, they keep chasing their fetishes, their addictions, in the hope of satisfaction. But the more they can get of their fetish, the less satisfied they are. So this is how we often are. We get some idea in our head, we keep chasing it as if it's going to solve all our problems. And even if we do get what we want, we immediately start wanting something else. The grass is always greener. Perhaps this could characterize the hungry ghosts. Or we could end up in the animal realm. We just want our comfort. Give me my comfort zone. Food, warmth, shelter, sex. That's it. That'll do me. Thank you very much. I don't want to think about anything. I don't want to question anything. Just keep my basic orifices satisfied and I'll be fine. Mustn't forget the hell realms. The hell realms are when you're in suffering, psychological, physical suffering. It doesn't actually matter whether it's psychological or physical. You can barely think straight because you're in pain. Although in the Buddhist scheme of things, nothing lasts forever. So there are options, there are opportunities. The clouds do pass now and again, where you can start getting a handle on things. You can actually practice. But if you get caught up in the narrative that you are one who suffers, it's very rarely a 24-hour thing. There are gaps. There are still opportunities to practice. And finally we've got the human realm. This is where we can start developing some insight into what is going on. We can see how we're driven by our moods, by our passions, our attention's being directed everywhere. But in the human realm, we can allow the attention to come to rest. We can go beyond our desires, go beyond our moods. We can go beyond materialism and decide to be happy no matter what. Now this might just be a matter of supplanting one mood with another, but as enlightenment practitioners, we've discovered the rainbow body. We've discovered the seat of awareness, the seat of awareness. And it's here we can enjoy the colours of the rainbow body and be happy with a capital H. An alternative I was thinking to happiness is relief. This great sense of relief. You don't have to bother about what the world's doing, because you are the ultimate authority of your own will. So, I think it was worth spending a bit of time just going over that, because it's a very potent teaching. Let's see what comes next. Verse 665. The company of the Bhikshus is taught by you that there is birth and death at every moment. Pray tell me its meaning. So the last two verses were about being born into each of these 6 realms, depending on your karma, depending on your past actions. Although I would just say it's dependent on the quality of your spiritual or enlightenment practice. If you're practicing, you're absent from these realms. You're not even in the God realm. You're free from them altogether. Because all these realms constitute the world of desire, which is the world whereby the attention is constantly seeking outwards. It's constantly projecting outwards. The enlightenment practitioner allows the attention to come to rest. And is no more concerned with birth and death in these realms. But what's being asked here, there's birth and death at every moment. And this is enlightenment practice. You can be born into one of these realms at any moment once you stop practicing. And this is how it is. There may be those who can practice continuously. I personally find that practice is generally quite short-lived. You have to keep coming back. You have to keep making this effort, and most of the time, especially if you're living in the ordinary circumstances of everyday life, the attention is always being drawn out and practice is forgotten. So there's a constant birth and death. Death is when you're practicing, and birth is when you've forgotten to practice. But that's my reply. Let's see what the Buddha says. Verse 666. As one form changes into another, so is the mind born and broken up. Thence I tell my disciples how uninterruptedly and momentarily birth and death takes place. Well, I think I don't want this video to go on for too long, so I'll stop this now and carry on looking at this in the next video.